Què tal, com estan? Avui a l'estudi de l'Ara hi tenim una personalitat molt singular, molt especial. Es tracta d'una biòloga nord-americana, professora, ecologista, escriptora, exploradora del National Geographic, però molt per damunt de tot això, que ja la defineix bastant, la doctora Meg Lowman és una persona que s'ha especialitzat en els arbres i més concretament en les copes dels arbres. De fet, el Wall Street Journal va parlar d'ella com la Einstein of the Treetops, o sigui, la Einstein de les copes dels arbres, no? Què és el que hi va buscar? Bé, ara ens ho explicarà. Quina importància té saber què passa a dalt de tot dels arbres? De seguida ho sabrem, però pensin que hi ha dedicat 30 anys de la seva vida en països com Costa Rica, Colòmbia, Belize, Panamà, Perú, Malàsia, Camerún, Índia, Austràlia, a tot arreu. Estic segur, i ara li preguntarem, que es deu haver fixat com estan els arbres de la ciutat de Barcelona. Bé, en tot cas, ella és a Barcelona aquests dies, convidada per l'Institut Català d'Arquitectura Avançada. És la segona vegada que ve aquí, també la primera la va convidar a aquest institut, i ens interessa saber, no només què ja està fent aquests dies, sinó en general què és el que ens pot dir sobre el que ens estan dient els arbres de l'estat del món. So, Meg Lowman, thank you very much for being here.
Such a pleasure.
Tell me, first of all, it's your second time in Barcelona.
Yes.
The first one, the same that the first one, you have been invited by the Catalan Advanced Architecture Institute.
Yes.
Are you working together?
We are, and my first visit, I worked with the students. We went up into your beautiful Mediterranean forests and built tree houses and different kinds of structures to give them a sense of how trees contribute to architecture. And of course, I'm very honored to be in the city of Gaudi, the tree expert of the world, trees of stone, that is.
Yeah, sure.
I feel very spiritual to be back again, and this time helping them to work on some urban tree activities for Barcelona.
Urban trees. It is a contradiction, urban trees?
I think it is. And I look at your backdrop and I'm counting the trees by one hand.
Well, in this main avenue, you can see that.
However, you have close by amazing trees, and maybe there are ways to have people become more educated about trees with certain things. I specialize in the treetops, so maybe people need to create a small skywalk so we could visit the trees together. Who knows?
Let's talk about that. But first of all, the Argonaut. Who invented the name and what does it mean?
I guess I'd take credit with a couple colleagues for inventing that name. What's amazing is in the 1950s, scuba gear was invented, and then we had the aquanauts, undersea explorers. In the 1960s, humans went into outer space, and we have astronauts, but not until the 1980s did a few of us, myself included, start to explore the treetops, which is hence the word arbornaut from tree.
Yeah, so, and what's in the treetops?
If you can believe it, half of the species of the planet live in the tops of trees, meaning
half of the species?
Half, 50%. So you are surely to discover many new species if you explore the treetops outside of Barcelona, because almost nobody has ever done that before.
What was your guess? I mean, the first time you thought, well, maybe I would like to explore the treetops. What was your guess?
I was, of course, a child treehouse builder, treetop climber as a kid. You know, we all have that phase. But I actually did my doctoral research on trees because I was interested in leaves. I was curious about leaves as this factory for energy, and how many leaves, how are they structured, and maybe questions Gaudi would have asked, you know, are there millions of leaves? Do they live 1 year, 12 years, whatever? But when I got up the tree to look at the leaves, everything was eating the leaves. Bugs were everywhere, munching on the leaves. So I got amazed at all these creatures, and then it led me to finding out with other colleagues that so many creatures live in the tops of trees. It's this hot spot. It's like going to the penthouse of the condominium, right? And all the parties are up there.
And how do you manage to reach the treetop?
I hope my mother's not listening.
Well, then and now, I mean.
Right. So originally, believe it or not, I sewed a harness with some seatbelt webbing, and I made a slingshot from a piece of metal so I could take a string, put it over the tree, and then pull a climbing rope. And so that was the beginning of climbing with ropes and harness. Today we have
risking your life?
Risking my life sometimes, but maybe not. And we have also new devices. Inflatable hot air balloons are useful, inflatable structures like rafts and other things. We sometimes build these beautiful treetop trails I was mentioning, or skywalks, which are basically on poles so that you can walk through the treetops and reach out and see all the bugs in the leaves very safely. And sometimes people do use now, of course, high technology, satellite imagery, drones are useful, but they never give you the level of detail of being up there yourself.
And could you choose a couple of the most amazing experiences in the treetops?
Sure. I guess I would love to say the first canopy walkway, which I helped build in Australia, was fantastic because we got up there and the beautiful Australian crimson rosellas were up there, all of their fabulous treetop animals, the koalas and other things, face to face, eyeball to eyeball. So the animals in the canopy or the treetops are not frightened of humans because obviously they don't expect us to be there. So it's a wonderful place to see many animals up close. So I've watched lots of fabulous birds eating worms and lots of wonderful even leopards eating their prey, because a lot of times animals climb into the treetops for their escape from the ground level. So it's quite a busy place.
Yeah. So the animals feel safe in the treetops.
Yes, exactly. And I guess so did we, and so do our ancestors, the primates perhaps, feel safer in the treetops, whereas the forest floor has many more predators.
That's why you call the life in the treetops the eighth continent?
Right. I call it the eighth continent in a sense because with 50% of species, most of which we've never seen before, it's a new place to discover. We're becoming a Christopher Columbus. We're exploring where no one has been before. And I can promise you, if you explore the treetops outside of Barcelona, there will be new discoveries made. It could be extraordinary.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. Even in North America, I take students in the treetops of oak trees and pine trees, places that are very common, but they all discover new species. It's incredible because it's a place nobody ever went to before, and I guess that's the kind of symbolism of a new continent.
Meg Lowman, thank you very much for your presence here today.
Thank you. Such a pleasure to be in Gaudi's footsteps.
I a vostès també, moltes gràcies per haver-nos vist.